Hello, everyone. A beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm very thrilled and very excited to read today for the very first time, officially in public, from my book that is going to be published soon. So just before we begin, just let's all take, including me, a deep breath in. And let's ground ourselves here and listen to the first story from my soul book. Chapter 1. We have a unique light. When I was a kid growing up in Eastern Germany, I lived in a little village near Leipzig with my parents and 2 sisters. Being the older one, I often took on a bit too much responsibility. My sisters were 5 and 8 years younger than me. I did my best to shine my wisdom for them so they could shine. I was the older and wiser one in their world. In my mind, I always knew better. I always knew what to do. And of course, I wanted to protect them and empower them to shine their own light into the world. I loved imaginary play. By the time I was 10, I was creating little houses out of blankets. Playing with my friends was so much fun to me. We would play hide and seek and create castles in the sand. I enjoyed observing the differences amongst them and connecting with them individually. I've always enjoyed the stories of each and every person I meet. Even as a kid, I really got into the stories of others. I also must have read all of the books in our little village library. Listening to the stories on tapes eventually led me to reading books. At one point, I was into horror stories, then adventure stories, and eventually I found myself reading historical novels. So I really was quite a bookworm. The stories of burning witches especially grabbed my empathetic heart. I cringed as gifted women with metaphysical abilities were accused and shamed for practicing outside religious norms. Once I graduated from high school, life really changed for me. The big question that came to me was, what am I doing with this life now? At that time, I wasn't completely sure what it was, other than I was really imprinted by my upbringing and environment. I felt like I was supposed to find something that I was good at and passionate about, and do that for work, then get married and have children. I wanted to have my first baby by age 23 and my second when I was 25. I ended up studying business science, including economics, which was quite easy for me. Because I didn't have to spend much time studying, I joined an organization called 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐩𝐿, which is the largest student-run organization in the world. They have this amazing mission of creating global peace by bringing the leadership potential out of everyone. I could really identify with that purpose. It really resonated with me. The student exchange amongst countries was creating a global citizenship. I suddenly felt something that I hadn't felt before. I was hooked. When I believe in something, I'm all in. This was an experience that I really treasured. Initially, I was a volunteer. My mind really exploded when I realized that this was an organization where I could actually lead, inspire, and train people. Sharing a common purpose with people from all over the world was so inviting. The first time I realized that I am here to give my light and wisdom to this world was in 2012. I was attending a conference in Greece. It was an international 𝐂𝐸𝐸 conference where leaders from various chapters within the organization came together. A total of around 300 people came from all across the world. I still remember how exciting it was to be meeting with Chinese, Mexican, Egyptian, and other representatives. They were like-minded people who shared a common purpose. It was very unifying. Suddenly, something opened in me. I am here for something bigger. If this is possible, that we can be one world, everyone here must be also feeling that as well. We are one. I'm a global citizen and I can become anything and everything that I want to be in that world. I shifted from this fixed mindset that I needed to build a house, create a decent career, have children, and do things the way they are done in Germany. Once I realized my freedom, there was no going back. Yeah, that's the very first chapter of my book. And I'm so curious, what were your insights? What was coming up for you listening to it? To me, a lot. Like, it's like reliving the memory and reliving the stories and seeing how all the dots connect and really feeling this big message of oneness just bubbling up again inside of me, and really noticing that we are all human here on this earth. And despite all differences, we are one people. And that feels like a union and very, very opening in my heart. So I'm curious. Please leave me some comments and some thoughts so we can start building up all those insights bubbling up from this book, what is not yet born, but almost there. Sending you so much, much love. Bye-bye.